Hi, I'm Jeff Belomo with Belomo and Associates. First, I want to thank you for coming to the Three Secrets Workshop and for signing up for the upcoming Blueprint Workshop meeting. I'm looking forward to seeing you at the Blueprint. It's going to be a lot of fun. The purpose of this video is to give you a little bit of an idea about what to expect and what to be prepared for as you come into the upcoming Blueprint meeting. In the first hour, we're just going to do a nice educational review. I want to go over the plans again, the trusts, how they work, and how we can solve the biggest issues that are occurring to you and your family. Once we finish the review, then we're going to get into the Blueprint actual part of the meeting, where we're going to give you a workbook and you're going to work through with your spouse or yourself questions to decide who is going to be that financial power of attorney, who's going to be the person who makes financial decisions for you if you can't. Well, if you're married, the first one might be easy, right? That'll be your spouse probably. But then who's the backup? Who is the people or persons who are going to make financial decisions for you after? We're also going to talk about healthcare power of attorney. Who's going to make those healthcare decisions if you can't make them for yourself? And you get to decide what happens if you're end stage medical. If two doctors tell us that there's no hope of recovery and that you will always remain vegetative, comatose, permanently unconscious, do you want heroic and life-saving measures or not? We're also going to discuss your will. Now, with this plan, remember, you're going to get not only the financial power and the medical power and the last will and testament, but you're also getting a revocable trust to avoid probate and to avoid hassle, and also an asset protection trust to protect the assets that you want to get protected. So our will, pretty easy, right? We're just going to decide an executor. Who is the person or people who are going to carry out your wishes after you're gone to make sure that the assets are taken care of? Now, in our wills, we're going to be pouring everything over into the asset protection trust. That's where we're going to have all of our provisions of who gets it, when do they get it, and how do they get it. So the purpose of the will sort of changes from what we're used to. The revocable trust, that's going to be for any assets that we're not going to put into the asset protection trust. We're going to leave stuff out for you. There's no doubt. Remember, we want you to live your life. We want you to be able to do the things you want. At a minimum, we just want to get that house protected, and we want to get that life insurance protected, especially if there's cash value. Those are no-brainers. So right off the table, we also need to talk about the revocable trust and the asset protection trust. In both of those, you can be the trustee. So as long as you're still managing your affairs, I say it stays you and your spouse if you're already doing it. Then we have the same question. Who's going to be the backup? Who's going to make sure everything's taken care of and the bills are paid and the assets gets distributed after you're gone? That's the backup trustee. So that will also be a decision that we're going to make. We'll actually fill in the workbook. We'll actually answer the questions in the workbook. And then that will allow us to be able to begin drafting. You're also going to want to make sure that you think a little bit about if something happens to you and your spouse, where are the assets going to go? Who's going to get them? How are they going to get them? We'll talk a little more specifically about how they're going to get them, because you know me, I want them asset protected for your children, your grandchildren, so only they can get it. So we'll talk about that as well in the meeting. I'm looking forward to it. So at the end of the meeting, I'm going to give you a choice, right? You wanted the education, that is perfectly fine. No harm, no foul. You still had a ton of education, about 4.5 hours, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it was good for you. If not, if you want to move forward and we want to get this blueprint done and get your plan designed for you, we're going to go through the fee agreement. We're going to have you sign it. We're going to have you pay half at the end and then schedule your implementation meeting. We'll get those documents drafted for you. We'll get them to you. We'll get a video to you to walk you through the documents so that you fully understand them and truly understand what it is that you're doing, okay? Then we're going to do a signing meeting and a funding meeting. I want to talk about what assets are going in. But let's not worry too much about that, because the truth is, with the cost the way that it is at $6,000, and if you signed up for the next Blueprint meeting as we discussed in the three secrets, it's $5,700. The plan that you're getting in my firm was $13,400 right before you did this. This is a new process that we're trying, and the only way to make it work is if we have a group move forward. And we're looking forward to having a group move forward and test it to see how it works out. So for $5,700, you're gonna get everything: the will, the financial power, the healthcare power, the living will, the last will and testament, the revocable trust, and the irrevocable trust. At a minimum, let's get that house in there. Let's get the life insurance in there. We can decide the rest of it later. We look forward to seeing you, and we look forward to walking you through this process and doing it in an efficient way that is going to protect your family. If you have any questions before the Blueprint meeting, give the office a call. But otherwise, we'll see you at the Blueprint, and we are looking forward to more education and protecting your family. Have a great day, and we'll see you real soon.